just to entertain her.
More or less.
That's the way I feel.
Provide for her.
Yeah. Dawn was not happy.
Send her over to 2 for a while.
Good morning, T-Lad. I know you're out there somewhere.
Don't put your plans where the dog can reach you.
It's like, well, they're in a pot. They were, Dawn's kind of like, it's like Batman. She's out there.
It's like putting it's like leaving the poison underneath the sink when your kids are growing up.
Gives you peace to know that she's out there somewhere. I have the Dawn light. I can shine it up.
I bragged. I said we had no technology issues in this thing.
No, we've got no technology issues. We not only have the Facebook going, we've got the YouTube going. There we are live. I look fantastic. You wearing the nice Wade & Carter swag, courtesy of Compadres Design Inc. for all of your branding needs, all of your merch. That's the lingo of the business. Yeah, merchandise. There's Roy Gutierrez. Good morning, Judge Posey. Sir.
Roy, first one in this morning. Good morning to you, Roy. Judge Posey. Bobby Leister checking in. Clint Ives is in. He says he's first, but he's not. He's fourth.
You see how we have all these folks have this top fan badge? Yep. You see how Judge Posey's like, I don't need that. No, I don't need that garbage.
Chris Conrad, good morning. Patrick Strauss is in. Greg Garcia. Christina Marvikas, good morning.
Mr. Lori Strauss. Yeah. Saw Carrie Eric this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Lisa Poole, the Leisterometer at 822.
We're blowing up. We added 79 listeners over the weekend.
89.
89, 733. Yep, you're right. Good morning,
Rena Webb. Good morning, Rena Scherer, Justin Glass, Diane Tippett, Scott Tomko, Sheriff Louderback. Good morning. We'll talk a little bit more about
Sheriff Louderback.
Saddle Up for Sheriffs coming up end of April. Looking forward to that. Christina Wise says, if you did not watch the UT Maryland game, you missed out. UT pulls it out.
64-61. They're now calling that sheriff's event America's Sheriff and the Rest. It's kind of like.
No, you're calling it that.
Right. No, I'm excited for I think that what you find. Okay, so sheriffs are each independently elected in their counties. And I think that to a degree, it's an anomaly that this group of men, even though people come and go, sheriffs change, this coalition, if you will, that they have forged is a model for the state. These coastal sheriffs working together to create a zone where the cartel, there was a time, I'm certain, that the cartel said, if we can just get to Victoria County, then we can either go south, north, east, west, whatever. And they don't say that anymore because the surrounding counties are all.
Well, if they go south, we're chasing them out of here.
Right.
Back to where they came from.
But we're all in this together.
Jeremy Pena, good morning. Lisa Poole.
Clint Ives is backing up his assertion that he was first. He's coming at you.
See, that's way down.
Yeah. Okay.
Not according to my list, and we're the official list. I got Roy Gutierrez at the top.
We are. You are. You're. I'm not going to draw a line in the sand with Clint Ives over. I have family in Precinct 4. So UT beats Maryland 64-61 to move to the Elite Eight. That's women's basketball. Normally doesn't catch my attention much. Texas takes 2 out of 3 versus OU in baseball. Should solidify they should still be in the top 10. They're number 9 right now. They play the Aggies on Tuesday in College Station. I'm looking for a ticket, Cliff Thomas.
That Baylor game on Saturday was an interesting one.
Did they win?
Yeah, but they needed overtime to get past Michigan. I mean, they were rolling.
Now, does that put them in the Elite Eight or the Final Four?
Elite Eight.
Mr. Thomas, if you're listening, sir, as head of the Board of Regents at Texas A&M University, you're supposed to go whoop when I do that. I don't do that either.
I can't do that.
I need a ducat to Olsen Field. What do you think a ticket costs right now? Now, this is college baseball, limited seating, no concessions as far as I know. What do you think it costs to get in, just to get in the door? I'm talking about upper deck, StubHub.
Well, you're on the secondary market. That's the problem.
Well, there's nothing on the primary. I went to A&M website. They just laughed at me. $86. That was the cheapest ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $86 to watch college baseball.
Why would you go watch a meaningless game anyway?
Well, it's not meaningless. It's a chance to keep the Aggies in their place. That's always a big deal. When you get a chance to beat them down, you always take it.
Rob Moore Knipling, good morning. J Dub.
Texas really rolling. Yeah, T-Lad points out we have moved the pots to the front yard.
Lorena Barzenbrook, good morning.
Good morning.
Fat Pat checking in. Norm Burgess, BJ Nelson, Jeff
Norm.
Fonseca, Tammy Williams, Matt Boucher, Lisa Poole, asking where her top fan badge went. No idea. Stephen Kidder, good morning.
Good morning.
There's Bob Watley, Richard King, Marty Stockbauer.
What a great group.
HR Mallory is there. HR says he's heard there's a match between Shapiro, Tucker, and Bongino to determine who opens up the sheriff event.
Tucker Carlson might fly in just to MC that event.
Good crowd. I can't even keep up with everybody.
What a great group.
Reese, Kathleen Leininger, Natalie Mayer. Yeah. Well, I looked the same thing for Astros tickets. And I mean, you're talking like way at the top of Minute Maid, and you're looking at like $300-400 a ticket because of limited seating.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And they can't do
those
that.
Those will come back down. Those will come down quick. It'll be face value.
The folks on the and that's, I mean, this has become modern day scalping. A bunch of people went in, bought tickets, had no intention ever of going, and just to put them on the secondary market so they could make a buck. And it's kind of like when the Reddit readers and users all got together to screw over the short sellers of GameStop, right? If people stop buying the tickets on the secondary market, the prices will come down. Like, it's a bit of a crapshoot, but if you wait until the day of the game, you're probably paying closer to the face value of that ticket.
I think that's my deal is, Kyle is there. I can always watch it live stream from the Dixie Chicken. I think what I'll do is just show up over there Tuesday and scalp one, or just, rob some little kid.
Take the scalper with you all the way to the gate to make sure he's not selling you a bogus ticket.
Right.
If he doesn't want to walk with you before you to make sure the ticket's good, then it's a bad ticket.
There are some real serious counterfeit tickets out there.
Yeah. HR says the concession stands are open. He's done all the recon.
Thanks, HR. I'll be there.
Andrea Jr., Lisa Chappell, good morning. Jamie Coleman checking in.
It's good to see Uncle Norm checking in from Frisco. I bet you Norm Burgess was watching the Dell match play. Quite a prize there, you're completely exempt on the tour from the 2021 season through the 23-24 season. That's a big deal. Plus, I'm sure it was at least 7 figures for winning the tournament and a big piece of Waterford crystal. It's that blue Waterford stuff.
Who won it?
Holscher beat Scheffler, who I think is a UT kid. The Scheffler kid started getting kind of loose in turn 3, towards the end.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, hey, I know it's NASCAR, but there's a lot of rubbing, not much racing. He was out in the woods quite a bit and making some great recovery shots. Matt Kuchar, imagine that. Matt Kuchar wins the consolation bracket. I mean, his name is in him and Skip Kendall. They're just engraved in the top 10 of all time. Guys that aren't going to win the tournament, but they're always going to take home a ton of money.
Who's Kuchar? And is he the Phillip Rivers of the PGA?
Could be.
Solid career, borderline Hall of Famer, never wins anything big.
Right. I mean, it's classic.
Kind of.
Super nice guy, though.
Yeah.
He's been out there a while.
He had a bit of an attitude when he first broke onto the scene, Kuchar.
Well, he was bombarded. He won the junior. He won the amateur before, after Tiger went on all those runs. So in 98.
He was like, what's his name, that decided snowboarding was better than golf and then hurt himself and never got back to playing.
Who, Mickelson?
No. The other guy that came up with Tiger. Blonde-headed guy. He was supposed to be Tiger's contemporary. Fonzie will know.
Are you talking about the kid from Dallas?
I don't know his name now.
Well, at any rate, Kuchar was a kid, though, that he first played as an amateur in the U.S. Open that was at Olympic Club, and I think that was 98. And that was the year after. He won the amateur the year after Tiger quit winning amateurs 6 years in a row.
David Duval, that's the guy. Yep. Thank you very much.
Of course, David
I knew
Duval's
you would know.
Hall of Famer. Phew, Duval could go. Mr. 59. Jamie Coleman asks, how do y'all feel about the VP not saluting military personnel? How about
I don't think the VP does.
Unsurprised.
You're not
the commander-in-chief.
You're not the commander-in-chief. I don't think there's any. I bet you Mike Pence didn't salute him. I
don't think Biden salutes him though.
No, he didn't. That was in my head when he fell up the stairs 3 times. That was part of the karma. If we pointed out in the video, he didn't salute him.
He's a clown. There you go. You leftist in just to hear what the radio gods have to say. He's a clown.
Larry McMurtry passed late last week. The
Lonesome Dove author.
Famed author. Yep, Texas author.
I honestly thought he was dead long ago. I thought he was dead. I mean, I remember they donated a lot of his stuff to the University of Texas. And fantastic writer, great historian. Everything was in the right context when he wrote.
J-Dub's dad had a whole downstairs.
Speaking of J-Dub, I'd like to welcome all of our fans and friends, really more friends than fans, in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, all over Canada now. We've got our friend Pete Montana out on the west coast.
Yeah.
We've got folks in Newfoundland, Saskatchewan. Very, very excited.
Ontario, Alberta, Manitoba.
Very few in Toronto. We don't like we're just not big on the Montreal. We're not big on the Canadians.
Not big in Quebec. But, Heather Monroe's got the Toronto group down to us.
MUNRO. Monroe. By the way, Toronto is my sleeper team to win the World Series this year. Maybe not a sleeper, right? Could be a favorite for some.
Could be a favorite for some. For all of Canada,
I'm telling you, is there anything better than springtime and the knowledge that the Astros should contend? How exciting it is. How exciting it must have been beginning in like the early 80s. That's when I think it began. When the Atlanta Braves all of a sudden became great. Do you remember when they won like 10 division championships in a row?
Because don't forget how bad they were when
the Atlanta Braves were so for the Astros.
Wasted Dale Murphy.
That's the thing you have to remember about Jose Altuve is he was on teams that lost 100+ games.
3 years in a row.
This kid deserves to be. Now, there is some concern that Jose Altuve is suffering from the
yips,
the Knobloch, Chuck Knobloch, Steve Sachs, that ability to pick up the routine ball and just toss it to first base has befuddled him some the last year, and they call it the yips. And those of you that play golf over the age of 50, you know that time when I played golf with people, y'all, that they'll be ready to putt, and afterwards I'll go, man, it took you long. I couldn't pull the trigger. My hands wouldn't move. I'm like, I've never experienced that. I can't imagine that.
And I'm not sure about his arm, but you almost to fix that, you almost have to move him to shortstop. So he's got to make a hard throw.
Yeah, because he makes a great throw.
Yeah. But I don't know. But I, and I love the Jose, but I think moving him to short's a downgrade.
Oh, yeah, no, he can't play short. But I'll tell you what is amazing is he wouldn't have the range to play short. Correa is such a Correa now. Carlos Correa,
foot too.
Well, Carlos Correa saying, "Hey, I can't do an impersonation. I'd be deemed racist." But once I start the season to help my teammates, I will not discuss my contract. I will be a free agent.
Now you sound like.
I don't know. It doesn't. It was different than me. No, but Carlos Correa did emphatically say, "I am playing this year as if I'm going to be a free agent, and if I don't have a deal in place before the season starts, I will go through free agency." The Astros are kind of taking you want 6 years at $25 million a throw, then we want to see what you got this year in a full season. I think he's saying, if you want me to be here, I tell you what, that kid is poised to have a monster year. And if he does, the Astros are going to pay dearly for him. $30 million a year. Remember, I told you that.
But let's not forget, and from a purely business, looking at it from purely a business.
Is that one off?
No, I didn't flip it.
I think you're good now, Steve.
Yeah. But purely business. This is a guy that has not played even close to 160 games in a regular season, or 162 games ever.
He hasn't ever played a full season?
Last year, but it was a shortened season.
Good point. Bobcat Wiley says, I like to see Charles Barkley throw a baseball. Remember Barkley's golf swing? There was a time Charles Barkley was a legitimate 6 handicap. I mean, he played with Jordan all the time. Then him and Jordan got sideways. I think Jordan cut his Achilles, and the next thing you know, Barkley can't play.
I don't think Barkley was ever 6 handicap.
I think he was. I think he claimed he was.
Yeah, he cleaned up.
Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. That's our go-to toe-to. You need to get somewhere. You got a car that won't go. It's pretty simple, folks. We describe it to you every morning. Put it in your phone, please. AAAA Allen's. ALLANS. So when you have that unfortunate moment, you just bring up your contacts, bam.
Right there.
Allen's Wrecker Service. 578-6300. The VCS companies, we talk about them in total today, and what a great service-based family, just a general overall great Victoria family in business. The Hartmans have put together through the years, whether it's communications, surveillance, security, whether you need fire suppression, fire detection, all the way down to the new iPhone 12 Pro Max. Reach out to the Hartman Empire. It's right there on Kerr Boulevard.
You've got all your iPhone accoutrement.
Oh, love it when you talk French. Reach out to the VCS companies, folks, today. Chestnut Furniture, 116 West Juan Lynn, the corner of Juan Lynn and Bridge, right across from the police station. They're making deals so good, you'll want to go turn yourself in. 70 years plus.
Robbery, I tell you.
101 years in business. BJ Nelson, anybody have any updates on the Suez Canal? Still clogged. Suez Canal needs a colonic. It does blow my mind. I've seen the enormity of this ship, okay? It is enormous.
It lost power.
You would think that you could get a tugboat on one side and a tugboat on the other and just turn it sideways and tow it on through. I mean, part of me says, how hard can it be? But apparently, very, very difficult. And makes you wonder why. I mean, I don't think this is an accident. I don't. I think you ought to see the picture, Ash, of the ships that are staged. Oh, my goodness. It looks like Lone Tree on a Friday night. Veracruz Restaurant today, you're back in. Go in and get a Mexican plate. I never do this, Dawn. 2 cheese enchiladas, rice and beans, and a crispy taco. Come on.
Rolls off your tongue like you've never do it.
Never, ever. No, those ladies there, they'd rat on me. They would rat on me. Texas Coast Limo, reach out to Bob Constantine, 575 Limo, for all the opportunities you have to impress your date, your spouse, to make your spouse more of a date. You decide, hey, I'm just going to jump in a limousine and run over to Veracruz for dinner, run over to the Pump House, run over to Uncle Mutt's Barbecue for dinner. Let Texas Coast Limo take you. Very reasonable during the week. Weekends are tough. Prom season is tough. You know, you're a little supply and demand. But during the week, very reasonable. Call 575 Limo. Bob Constantine will take care of your family.
So apparently one of the salvage teams working on that thing says the boat's been partially refloated. This thing's only been in operation for not even 3 years. The Ever Given container ship. But they didn't give any more. This is a BBC report, said that the ship has been corrected by 80% and freed from the shoreline. But really no other.
It's funny, if you see the picture, it says Evergreen on the side of the boat. But the boat may be the Evergreen, shipping line, but it's the Ever Given. It's the name of the boat.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So, and it's got billions of dollars worth of goods on it.
By the way, TLAP points out that you and I originally started this show based on sports, and we've added other topics. we used to talk sports because it was something we both knew and understood. And now we found out that you guys don't really care if we know what we're talking about.
No.
So we just talk about everything now.
Everything.
Sure.
David Brogger, good morning. Yep. Tammy Williams says, yep, no accident.
Did you see the video over the weekend? Now, this blows my mind because if anybody was ever in a position to say, do you know who I am? It's Ted Cruz. As a senator from this state, to be at the border and have a little girl who claims that she's working for Homeland Security telling him that he can't video what's going on inside that facility. And you look back and all these kids are all covered up in these like space blankets, the aluminum foil looking blankets. They're everywhere in there.
Survival blankets.
As Ted tries to pan it with his iPhone, she's going, sir, please, I know
she's looking like Gary Payton.
Yes.
For the Seattle Sonics back in the day.
And she's saying, we want you to respect their privacy and their dignity. I mean, like what? Like putting video of these people on the internet or something is going to somehow, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why he didn't say, get out of my way. I'm a United States senator.
Remember how badly and how desperate the press was to cover this a few years ago?
You've got to let us in there. You must let us video this.
And not only that, remember they were floating out pictures from the Obama administration and trying to say this is Donald Trump's kids in cages. Remember that? That's how bad they wanted it to be a crisis and an issue for President Trump. And now it's not a crisis because
it's Trump's fault.
Because Joe Biden is the president.
I don't know what I want a guy that I respect, somebody like Pete McNally, to call me 575-9509 and explain away the hypocrisy. If a Democrat would call me and go, you know what, I got to admit, it's a little hypocritical. I mean, I got to admit, they hammered Trump. They wanted press access. They sent AOC down there who talked about the terrible conditions. That officer made a sexual remark to me. But then Ted Cruz, a sitting United States senator from the state of Texas, walks into a Texas facility and is denied the ability to video something. If you don't see the hypocrisy, then you're selectively stupid.
And I've been consistent from the get-go on this. Where are you going to put a bunch of kids who arrive without their mom or dad, because they've been taken from their families in Honduras, Panama, wherever, by the cartel and brought here?
Sure.
What are you supposed to do with them?
Well, what you should stop them over there. Put them in a detention center, a migrant facility on that side of the border. Don't bring them over here where we have to feed them, clothe them, educate them, and give them the right to vote and a stimulus check. I mean, put them over there. So it would stop real quick. And we said, hey, folks, really, you can come. And when you check into the migrant facility in Matamoros, then we'll send you some paperwork. I'm going to stay here.
Well, it's a bunch of kids who,
they got paid to come. They got paid and fed along the way.
They didn't get paid. They got stolen from their parents, and their parents were threatened to be killed if they didn't give their kids up. I mean, that's how it works. They're using these kids to pretend that these are families coming across. I mean, the games are being played by the cartel, and the media just eats it up. They don't ask questions.
No.
They don't wonder why and how. Well, a bunch of kids just show up at another country's border without any parent in tow, when if you or I let our 8-year-old kid walk to the corner, somebody's calling CPS on you.
Yeah. Well, see, folks, the Biden administration is weak. You got Vladimir Putin literally mocking Joe Biden. Hey, why don't we have a debate? Live, no teleprompters, just me and you in a room, and you just show us all how smart you are, Joe. You got the Kim Jong-un over in North Korea said, I didn't like Trump, but I respected him. This Biden guy's a clown. His actual word were Biden is weak. That's what he said. Then he launched a missile just to prove that he could do it.
But when you've got finite space, what are you supposed to do? I mean, seriously,
You just
it's the same problem Donald Trump had. There's only so much room to keep people
That's
there,
right.
and there's what are you going to do?
Keep them clean, keep them warm, give them something to eat.
You know, and you know, you're dealing with countries that
And paying $15 an hour. You got to pay them $15 an hour.
You're dealing with countries that have very little in the way of any sort of paperwork when kids are born anyway. Records are a mess. Trying to find these kids' parents may never happen. Richard King says at least Trump slowed it down. Absolutely.
He slowed it down to $10,000 a month. What does it say? I wonder if you I was wondering if you didn't receive a stimulus check like we didn't. Do our taxes go up to repay the ones that did? Oh yeah. There's going to be a tax hike for sure. And as Ash pointed out last week, a stunning, telling, and terrifying number is that just Medicaid or Medicare for all costs $500 billion more than we bring in taxes.
Yeah.
So the IRS would essentially be collecting, they'd have to raise taxes $500 billion just to cover Medicare for all. Don't think about the roads, military.
Well, and that gets me to the point. Here's where the tax hike is coming, because President Biden is going to talk about his infrastructure plan, which has bilateral support. Republicans are on board with this plan. Democrats are on board with this plan to fix crumbling infrastructure, which I already thought our roughly 20-cent a gallon tax for gas went to fix the roads, which makes you wonder where this is going. But he's gonna unveil a bill. You watch, it'll happen, because he's starting to talk about infrastructure. In fact, he got so worked up and excited about infrastructure, he got confused about infrastructure and started talking about infrastructure when he was asked a question about deadly shootings in his press conference last week.
That's true. Switched again.
When he also said he'd been in Senate for 120 years. I mean, the more you watch this thing, it just becomes a comedy show.
He's
really
a clown.
But that's where the tax increase will come. They're not worried about the printing of money for the COVID relief, and that's the other bill that's going to come. Well, we got to get our economy back on track in the wake of COVID. I thought that was the whole point of the 1.9 trillion and trillions that we printed, right? Wasn't that the point of it? I don't know.
We're trying to get back on track.
But infrastructure is going to be the way, and they're going to have to tax you for it, and me, and you, and us, and that's how they're going to sell it. Well, our infrastructure's a mess. We got to fix our infrastructure.
I can hear him, folks. We can do better. We can. I'm serious here. We can do better.
And that's how they're going to try to pass this to the American people. Well, it's to fix our infrastructure. We got to pass this. Come on, man.
Come on.
You know the thing.
The thing.
We need this. We need the infrastructure. It was neglected under 4 years of Trump so badly that we need it now, man.
We the people.
Come on, man.
We the people. You know the thing. That's it. Come on.
That's how he's going to sell a massive tax increase.
It's about peace of mind.
That's how he's going to sell it.
We can do better. We've done better before. We'll do better again. That guy before, he doesn't matter. Ignore that. It's about peace of mind. We can do better. I love it. When I was in Scranton.
And then there'll be inflation. And
like Scranton, Pennsylvania is like the modicum of success in America.
He's going to be in Pittsburgh, I think, later this week. And that's when you'll find out that you won't find the details yet, but he'll start trying to sell it.
Sounds kind of like a private body part. You've got an infection in your Scranton. You've got a slight inflammation of your Scranton gland. What is that, Scranton?
Your Scranton's inflamed.
You've got a terrible... Boy, this better not be the drunk broad. Good morning, Wade and Carter. Thank goodness.
Steve Kidder.
Steve, I was about to unload on the drunk lady. I was just like, you picked a bad day to call. Yes, sir. How are you? This is, folks, for those of you that don't know, as if it's possible you wouldn't know, it's the law offices of Steve Kidder. Now, before you tell us anything, Steve, turn your radio down so we can just talk to you. We want nothing but the facts. We want nothing but the facts, and we'll decide what to tell the judge, okay?
I think we lost him.
Hey, no, there's no chance we lost him. That's called a poignant pause. They stop like that. And then they want to see how you react. Steve, come back to us, Steven.
Uh-oh.
Call back.
Steve. While he's doing that, let's take a break.
Real quick, he's not technologically driven, but he does know the law. Let me tell you, the law offices of Steve Kidder. Steve can help you with everything from a will to a trust. Look at that. He's tenacious.
He is.
He's tenacious. If he doesn't quit trying. The law offices of Steve Kidder, they're there for you. He's the little train that could, and all the judges are scared of him. Good morning, sir.
The little train that can.
Please.
It's all you now.
It's all you.
Yeah, we're still.
No, you told us you wanted to talk, counselor. We just. It's your show now.
Opening arguments. It's all you.
I object.
So Chad Prather's going. Did he make that announcement that he said he's going to run for governor?
What was the other gentleman's name a couple of years ago? A lot of weed. Kinky Friedman. Is it any different really than Kinky Friedman running for governor? Do you think he has a chance?
You think he has a chance?
See, and I think that his base is Abbott's base. So you're right. Somebody that's a Republican might say, hey, you know what? That what it does show you, and I mean this sincerely, is it shows you that the average Texas voter understands the relative lack of importance of the office of governor. I mean, it's like, who cares? Really?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Is he going to run under the Republican Party? Is he going to run as an independent? Did he say? Do we know?
The comedic party.
Yeah. See that well, I would hope if he's going to run on a party ticket, he's not hiding that fact like many Democrats did in the 2020 election that we pointed out, that you could go to their pages and there was no party affiliation anywhere on their page because they were trying to hide the fact of which party they were running.
Well, this guy's definitely not going to run as a Democrat. Kathleen Leininger says the difference between Kinky and Chad is that Chad hasn't fried his brain yet, and Karen Webb says that he's going to run as a Republican. So,
what were some of the things he talked about that just absolutely said, "Yeah, bang on, we need that fixed"? Was there anything like that? One or any of those aha moments, or was it just more kind of the whole show worth?
Solid, plausible leadership, Steve. That's what we're after.
Yeah.
Well, I do like
probably easier to build that wall in the northern part of the state than in the southern part of the state.
Might be a union job. Cost a little bit. Stephen, how are you and how are things going in your world? Tell me about the courthouse these days. Is court back in session? Do you go to court often? Okay. But no, but really, like, are the judges holding session again? And I mean, you go in there and hold court and present cases, or is everything virtual? I didn't know. I thought it was virtual for a while.
J-Dub sent me a screenshot full of snow. What is a hybrid court session? Like somebody's there, but the other person isn't? Okay.
Right. What's it like? Like you go and like Judge Ernst, like you can see the lake in the background. Does that make you feel good? I just remote and 3-foot surf off the jetties of Port O'Connor. It would be. Are you doing well, sir? Are we doing okay for you advertising for the law offices of Steve Kidder? We enjoy you very much. There you go. Yeah, it's not that you're narcissistic. It's just that it's good radio, right? Well, yes, sir.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
That's interesting because that, good point he brings up. That is Prather the guy that can help right the ship that is Texas? I don't know that needs a lot of writing, but I think people are fed up with Abbott.
Another good point. You're going to die someday. Reach out to Dana Moore Delagarza. Let her help you take that pressure off your family. 652-9157. Dana will come to your home. She can sit with your whole family and discuss how you want to be remembered, how you want to be treated after you pass.
Memorialized?
Do you want
canonized?
Do you want to be euthanized? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to what kind of casket do you want? You might be surprised. Well, I always thought Grandma would want a big old gold cat. No, she's like, no. My dad was buried in a pine box, and that's how I want to go out.
I want to be in an oak box.
Reach out and make it happen.
652-9157.
Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray, much more upbeat. You can do a cash out refinance. You can roll everything in and lower your interest rate a ton. A lot of great interest rates, 5, 4.5. Now you can get it down into the 2s.
Yeah.
It saves you hundreds of dollars a month and shorten your term.
Yeah, you could probably accomplish both.
Yeah,
you can. Years ago, you couldn't. You could have shortened your term, and your payment probably wasn't going to get lowered. Now you could probably shorten your term and lower your payment at the same time. Go talk to Terry at Motto Mortgage.
Take some of those savings and go to Went Generators, Went Services, Went Solar Panels, Went Plumbing, Went Electrical. Those little things you need done around the house, reach out to Went Services. Let Carl Went and his team, Aaron Went, come out. They'll help you design the electrical system that's perfect for your home. It is storm season. It's right upon us. Be ready with a Kohler,
Generac, Briggs & Stratton,
Cummins. They've got all of them.
Gas, diesel, natural gas, propane, and solar.
Then our friend Charlie Garcia, he and his wife Elaine have USA Concrete Coatings. They'll come out. Started out as a great way to spruce up an old garage, grease on the floor, cracks.
Now people realize, hey, this has a lot more applications.
Pool deck, office floors,
patios, industrial spaces, commercial spaces.
578 Home. And then when you want to have a party, you need somebody to decorate it so you can go to the party. Don't just be the guy that pays for the party. Attend the party. 920-6803. Let Cheryl and the Gray Barn make your party worth going to. 920-6803.
Adam Daughtry says we need to take back the original Texas territory. You know what? But it changes up.
Texas, baby.
Yeah, but you know what? I forgot.
Right up into Colorado.
But you know what? That changes everything. Because now we have the panhandle of Texas, right? If you go to do that, now you're talking the stovepipe of Texas. And it's just, nobody knows what a stovepipe is anymore. Right. People still know what a panhandle is. But nobody knows what a stovepipe is anymore. Nobody has them. But
Deep Thoughts.
Yeah.
By Ash.
Beverly Cleary passed away over the weekend as well.
Beverly Cleary, don't tell me. No, she was an author. Yep. She wrote children's books, and she wrote Henry Huggins books, correct? Beverly Cleary.
Were they Henry Huggins or were they the girl? Was she, Yes, God, It's Me? No, that wasn't her, was it?
Beverly Cleary. Help me out, school teacher. Missy Madden Klimacek, Dr. Klimacek out there, Lisa Poole.
Somebody out
Beverly
there.
Cleary, I think, wrote the Henry Huggins series, but I'm not positive. And it would be amazing if I was correct because it would just be purely love.
All right, let me see if I can find out real quick.
Cleary, C-L-E-A.
Ramona. There you go.
There's a caller.
Yep, Henry Huggins was hers. Ramona Quimby, Henry Huggins. There you go. Well done.
Good morning on a technical difficulty-free Monday. How can we help you? Is that James Kurth? Could be. It could be right? Like Chad Prather. How about that guy?
Well, you might as well claim him now.
We did have some Prathers here in Victoria. There were Prathers in Victoria when I was a kid. How are you? What's going on? What do you got for us? Pisaki.
That one almost went over my head.
Yeah, it almost went over my head too. Pisaki.
The P is silent. So you've been to the Suez, I know, because you and I have talked. I mean, I know it was an engineering feat when it was completed in the late 1800s, but
with slave labor.
Bring it, yeah.
We need reparations.
But kind of, I mean, is the ship that big or is the canal that small?
It's both, Ash. You want to talk about serious tensions when the Enterprise or when any of our carriers ever went through the Suez Canal, there was always the fear. You talk about Cold War, heightened emotions.
Fear-mongering.
Can you imagine if somebody were to sink a carrier in the middle of the Suez Canal? Number one, it would take literally years to get the pieces out. Not to mention, you're so vulnerable and so disabled. It's a little, it's probably a little extra fuel in the F-18s, and we don't let anybody get within 1,000 miles of our airspace.
No.
You know?
But I mean, yeah, you're a former military guy, and you've got some pretty good knowledge base of these things. Do you think this is a 3-year-old ship? For it to just completely lose power like that,
it's still under warranty,
more or less. But I mean, do you think it's legit, or you think there's some skullduggery going on here with this thing?
Chicanery.
Yeah.
Chinooks.
He did his job. He watched it.
Lisa Poole just put on Facebook anymore. She didn't know that you'd gone deep undercover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Love her. Yeah, Candace has gotten a little more militant. She's really trying to grow her political brand. And what my only issue, I have no issue with Candace Owens. And folks, if you don't know who she is, you must live in a cave. But Candace Owens is is
Yeah,
a
just go look her
young,
up.
go look her up. Young African American black woman. She's a black woman, and she's very, very smart. And yet 90% of her message is what we say here. It's just that it's coming from a black woman, so it's more of a shock thing for them. We don't dwell on. I don't get down into the weeds about the plight of black America the way she does, and her issue is that they're like reparations, as much ado about nothing and all that. So she's looked at as kind of a turncoat by the black community, which has made her, for better or worse, very popular in the white community. And for the most part, she's just a conservative person who happens to be black. But it's accent.
And the media will try to paint the fact that there's not many of them.
She's
not many black conservatives, and that's the way. And then they try to demonize the ones that come up.
Yeah, no, I agree. She's gotten violent. She's gotten very vigilant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Her message is no different than that of Tucker Carlson. She's just a black female and he's a white man. So
appreciate it. Thanks, James.
Thank you, Mr. Kurth.
Have a good day.
Have a great day, sir. Great guy, James Kurth. Super good guy. I just went away somewhere. Where we go?
I don't know what happened.
I didn't do it.
Must have.
No.
We're still there. Talk.
Okay, hi.
No, we're gone. You must have hit a button.
I hit this button right here. That was it. That's the one I turned off.
We have no microphones right now.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
We're dead. I pushed this button right here. Turned it off.
Ralph.
Hang on, Ralph. Come,
Ralph,
please.
We got something going on here. We got no microphones.
We got no microphones. How about
tap that one real quick?
No, we got no mics.
No mics.
No mics.
No mics. No mas. I don't know what's going on.
If somebody was on the phone, I pushed that button to turn it off, and then everything went dead.
Still on.
This is a.
Oh, that was down.
Is that? There we
I
are.
didn't see that. Thank you, Ralph. Sometimes you overlook these
Let me
things.
tell you something. Let me just tell you how that went, folks. The Hall of Famer, Ralph Salazar, stumbled in here, still's half asleep. He's got his Bloody Mary in his coffee cup. It's called Denial. He drinks a drink called Denial. And he just goes, oh, we'll slide that up. And
somehow I must have swept that down by accident.
There's Jimmy Simpson. Jimmy Three Cheeks checking
We're
in.
good now.
Folks,
Final break.
Gets us back in time to tell you Atzenhofer. Since 1926, Victoria's dealership, Atzenhofer.com. You can shop online from the comfort of your office. Your boss will never know. Reach out to the Atzenhofer dealership for
Chevrolet, Cadillac, Mazda.
Gently pre-owned vehicles, pre-loved. They got a paint and body shop that's as good as it gets, and they can do. Yeah, Brent, I probably did. That's Johnny Houghton, double out spy Houghton.
He'd be a good one to know what he thinks on the Suez Canal.
I agree 100%.
Issue.
Did you see Adam Dodger said light them up with the close-in weapons? I'm switching to guns. Anyway, reach out to Atzenhofer today. White Trash Services, 550-1826. 1826.
They haven't been here since 1826.
No,
they've been here for a short time, but they've done a great job building a wonderful, family-owned, customer service-oriented business that
100%.
will absolutely have you having a trash-tastic day every day.
They are a
weekly service
company that happens to deal in refuse. That's the fact.
It really is. But they're great if you need weekly residential collection. If you want something bigger, they've got roll-offs and they can handle all your trash collection needs.
Yep. Raise IT Solutions, JP Hull and his team can help you with your analytics, your website, your accounting. They can tie it all together. You can monetize things on the web. You can protect, encrypt. You can keep the hackers out. You can keep the data in. Sorry. Reach out, and Complete 360 saw one of your baseball players doing a little part-time work. He's a fit kid, nice kid.
Got his bats going this weekend.
Zach Lee Ash doesn't brag about it, but the Jags went up to Texarkana and took 2 out of 4, which, by the way, on the road, you split, and it's not a bad day.
Not a bad day.
Not a bad day,
No.
people. The Bats came alive, and Annette Smith King, are y'all talking? Well, we were, but nobody was listening.
But now
If we're talking and nobody's listening, is it still a radio show?
technically,
I mean,
it's not good radio.
okay. There's other
We won't be
channels
for
have that.
long.
There you go. Complete 360, folks. Reach out to the health bar right over here across the street on Red River, or the location up north for supplements. If you want, make your own smoothies, whey proteins, vitamins. They've also got it's a smoothie store. It's over here. It's a panini and a health bar, and they make wraps, and it's a fantastic, healthy addition to your restaurant routine. There you go.
There you go.
Do we need to wrap this up? It's top of the hour.
Getting there. Yeah.
And do you have any more? Since we had a show about nothing today.
I just want to. Leah Lerma goes out and shoots 75-75, tied for first in the women's Claude Jacobs Intercollegiate going on at Colony Creek this week. This week wraps up today, so good luck to Leah. Max Schleising sitting in second, a shot back, one over par. But the Jags have a 10-shot lead and are in first over Midland College.
Now, where's that kid from?
Switzerland.
I was going to say Germany. It's like Steven Strauss.
But I mean, a good showing. I think 175 might be the worst individual score. It's what, 5 over, something like that.
Yeah. Think about, folks. Think about having kids in here playing golf at UHV from Switzerland. That's pretty cool.
He's a good kid.
That's pretty cool.
Even better.
There you go.
Kid, good student, and lighting it up on the golf course. UHV men's team looking for their second straight win.
Bobcat Wally says Mattress Max putting $1 million on U of H. By the way, he's also laying off another $1 million on Baylor and
I think my pool's still
Gonzaga.
let me look here. I think my pool's not really intact, but I think my Final Four is intact.
Really? You had
Go
U of
look
H
at my
still in the Final
bracket.
Four?
I'll go look at my bracket real quick. But yeah, I did. I had
Is that in your contract?
I had no, maybe not. No, Michigan beat Alabama. Or UCLA beat Alabama, so that screwed me up in the East.
There you go.
So, but I had Gonzaga beating Alabama, so now they're going to have to beat Michigan, and UH and Baylor going to the. Or did I miss that one too? No, there's. I don't know.
BJ Nelson says, "What a blessing to have sports happening again." Of course, she's saying that because
Yeah.
Baylor's still playing in the men's bracket. Baylor's really fun.
Johnny Houghton says, "Imagine the imports if we had curling at UHV."
Could
Absolutely.
well, absolutely. Can Baylor
All the way from
play
Wisconsin.
Gonzaga in the final, or are they
No, the
semis?
Final Four.
Are they to play in the semis?
Yeah.
Gonzaga might beat the Bears, but the Bears are awful good.
So I got 3 of the 4. I think that still have a chance.
Show off.
But I think Gonzaga's going to win it. That's my pick.
There you
I
go.
had Gonzaga beating UH in the finals.
All right, folks, we're getting out of here.
We'll get out of here.
Have a great day
We'll see
and
y'all tomorrow. Have a
tune
good
in
one.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.